Welcome back to the weekend preview, the show here on BTB TV. Not so much a show as it is me in a swivel chair talking about cyclocross. This weekend is going to be it's going to be a great weekend. I say that a lot, but cyclocross is awesome. This weekend is no exception. We have two big races coming up, not two races, Saturday and Sunday, one event, or two different events. On Saturday, we have the Colorado Cyclocross Classic. On Sunday, we have the Boulder Cup at the Valmont Bike Park. We head out to the Rocky Mountains, high altitude for the first time, Boulder, Colorado. It doesn't get much better than this. On the weather side of things, 57 on Saturday, 67 projected for Sunday. Perfect weather. Again, I say that a lot, but again, it's perfect cyclocross weather. I guess it's not, if some of you might like, hot, humid, 90-degree days in terms of perfect weather. I guess if you're watching this up in the Arctic, this would be imperfect weather, as like your stash of fish would probably thaw sooner than you'd hope. But for cyclocross in Boulder, 60s, it's going to be perfect. Let's talk about the courses. Saturday's course out at the Boulder Reservoir for the Colorado Cyclocross Classic, a classic course. We've been there a number of times, and the one feature there to really focus on is the sand. Probably the sandiest course we see on the national calendar here in 2013. They have a lot of beachfront there at the reservoir. They make very good use of it. Not just a sand pit that you go blasting through, although I think they do have one of those, but some long, drawn-out beach sections that really is going to force a lot of the riders to get off and run and give an advantage to the guys like Ben Bairden and so on that are very good at riding that stuff. The other thing you really have to focus on there is the goat heads, not to be confused with baby heads. I guess if you don't know cyclocross, this could sound pretty gruesome, but baby heads, a type of rock. Goat heads in Colorado and New Mexico and other places out west, these little tiny sort of stick-like, thorny, just watch out for them. You hit a goat head, you flat your tire, it's not going to be a pretty thing. So put the stands in if you have it. Maybe, if you're not getting them for free, leave your tubulars at home for this particular event. On Sunday, there's not enough time in this episode to talk about Sunday's course. The Valmont Bike Park in Boulder, the cycling-specific bike park with a cyclocross-specific course, a permanent, full-time cyclocross course there like nothing else we really have in the United States. Imagine you took, 10 super smart cyclocross people and put them in a room and said, you guys can have any course you want. Design the perfect course, and that's what they did here. We have a perfect sand pit. We have a perfect staircase run-up. We have some perfect switchbacky, bermy turns and just everything there. It's going to be excellent. Check out. We'll have coverage of that this coming weekend. But that course, of course, even more important this year as it will host the 2014 National Championships in January. So everybody come into town. Some people have seen it before. It doesn't change much year to year, but this year specifically, you're going to want to race well on this day. You're going to want to learn every single corner, as you will be back here in just a couple months with a Stars and Stripes jersey on the line. Let's talk about your contenders. On the women's side, it's going to be sweet. We have Katie Compton and Elle Anderson going head-to-head. Katarina Nash, your winner both days in Providence, will not be there as of today. She's taking the weekend off, but I'm fine with that. She showed us what she's got. She was great. She rode away from those two, but those two were where the racing action was at. Katie Compton beats Elle on Sunday in the mud. Elle Anderson takes Katie in the sprint on Saturday. It's going to be insane. Then we have some of those other riders. Meredith Miller, look for her to maybe up her game there on the first lap. If she can do that, she's definitely a threat for the podium, probably a lock on the bronze medal. We'll see how long she can stay with those leaders. Your wild horse? Was it your dark horse? Your dark horse this weekend that I would pay attention to, she's kind of a wild horse too, I guess you could say. Chloe Woodruff. Watch out for Chloe. The Crank Brothers rider on the mountain bike side of things, coming off a very strong mountain bike season. She's dabbled in cross before. She actually won a couple of UCI races a few seasons ago down in North Carolina, but she's one of those short track eliminator specialists that her skill set translates very well into cyclocross. Look for her to also make that front group. On the men's side of things, it's about half and half in terms of the top dogs being here. Jeremy Powers, he is healthy-ish. He's been training again this week, and he will be there for both days. Ben Bairden, your winner on Sunday, who lives in Colorado now, he will be there as well. No Tim Johnson, a few of the others. Danny Summerhill coming back after his big UCI win in Wisconsin. He took a little break, so we'll see how that form is for him. Zach McDonald could be good. Yannick Ekman is always good in Colorado. The one rider that I'm most excited about, also, I guess a dark, wild stallion horse as well, would be Logan Owen. What is he now, 8-time something consecutive junior national champion, finally graduating into the senior ranks now, fresh off that 4th place ride at the UCI Road World Championships. He is going to be very interesting to watch. We've seen a lot of those junior national champions make the jump and either have great success or not quite hit it. A lot of hype here for Logan Owen. Can he make that lead group? Can he do it in his first big-time elite race? I personally think that he probably can, so that could be very exciting. And now your SRAM key to the race. The key to both races, both days up in Colorado, will be the altitude. Can you breathe up there? It's over 5,000 feet, very little oxygen in the air. I would say that's a pretty important key to the race, being able to breathe. But seriously, up at altitude, over 5,000 feet. I mean, it matters in cycling already in general, but in a sport like cyclocross, where you're just punching it out of every corner so many times, going right up to that borderline of going into the red, you can maybe get away with that at sea level. At altitude, if you go over that line, if you go too far, there is no coming back. So again, a little bit of home field advantage there for the people from Colorado. Todd Wells coming down from Durango over 7,000 feet. People like Meredith Miller who live up there. They're acclimated. They know how to pace themselves. And you got guys like Jeremy Powers coming up from sea level. They've done it before, but they're just a little bit more unfamiliar. So the key, altitude, how you pace yourself, going to be very important. And that is this week's SRAM key to the race. If you're watching this on VeloNews or somewhere else, go ahead, hit those links down below. That'll take you back to behindthebarriers.tv where you can see full start sheets, the weather, the hashtags, the Twitter tags, the Facebook tags, poppin' tags, whatever you guys are up to. It's going to be a sick weekend. BTB TV, check out everything else we've got for you. That Providence episode is awesome. Who's number one? How the race was won. I'm going to take off now. I got a flight to catch, but we will see you guys this weekend. More? Am I out? It doesn't really go any lower. See you guys this weekend. Am I out now?